Well, hello everyone. Greetings on this new moon on July 17th. Yes, today is the new moon. It'll get larger and more powerful from now on. So, I guess I've done videos about this before, but I just wanted to show you again how I would do my prayers or wishes on a new moon, because a shamanic tradition is on both the full moon and new moon, you would write a list of 10 wishes that you want, 10 items that you want either more of or less of in your life. So on the day of the full moon, like, I guess the energy would decrease. The moon's getting smaller, so you would only want things, you would only write down things you would want less of, things you want to decrease, like anxiety or worry. And, well, since today's the new moon, things you'll want to increase in your life. So, and I kind of made this during the midday. Like, I guess most days I'd wait until, when it's dark out so that you can actually see the moon. Not that, like, if the moon is 0% illuminated like today, then you obviously don't see it. But, and then I saw online that whenever you look up, like, when the new moon or the full moon is, it always says, like, moon rises at maybe 1:31 p.m. or 2:32 p.m. or, I don't know, 4:56 p.m. or, and obviously it's not really dark at that time, so you can't see it, but I don't know why did they have the time as, before sunset. Like, why would the moon be up before sunset? That doesn't really make sense. If anyone knows the answer, please leave it in the comments. Okay, now let's get into it. Things I want to increase in my life. One, I definitely put revolution, because I know that in today's society, at least in the 21st century, we claim to be very progressive and incredibly progressive civilized society, but lots of times it doesn't seem to, like, people don't always put their words in alignment with their actions. Yeah, it's a lot easier to talk about stuff, but, like, if you can talk the talk, you should also walk the walk. So, one, I guess, change or a new things. There are a lot of human rights movements out there, civil rights movements out there, such as, well, veganism. Veganism is a civil rights movement for the non-human animals, and, so I want this to bring it closer to accomplishment. Because, I mean, when they had slavery of, like, Africans in the United States, I guess, they said the Africans are treated as badly as livestock. Well, maybe we should also treat livestock better. Like, we don't really need livestock at this point. Like, I don't know, with, animal agriculture comprises 83% of all land use used for agriculture, but it only supplies 18% of our calories, so that really doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up. And, also, the second thing that I want to increase in my life is sensitivity. Not only in my channels, but also in the, I guess, just the world around you, because, being sensitive has to do with psychic, I guess, all those psychic abilities: clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairgustance, clairsalience. There's or claircognizance. Those are all just super sensitive of our normal senses, like a super sensitive hearing, super sensitive vision, and super sensitive hearing. So I think, having those claircognizance, clairsentience would definitely be helpful um, to receive ethereal information. So I guess knowledge is transferable, wisdom isn't. So obviously that has to do with how they say, school can't teach you everything, or public education is worthless. Self-education is priceless. But to educate yourself, to be in tune with the world around you, I guess Henry David Thoreau was really accomplished in that area, because one of his quotes was, "It is the beauty within us that allows us to receive the beauty around us." And I think that has a lot to do with sensitivity. Just, I guess empathy would be a better word, more empathic, more sympathetic, or so let's see, more revolution, more sensitivity, more prosperity. I guess I just had to include that one. It's not really, I guess, up to the level of, I think, the others, but because that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's just tradition, more or less, or yes, prosperity can have multiple meanings. So, fourth, what I want more of, definitely serendipity. Serendipity, because I know the actual definition of serendipity is just an apt ability to make accidental discoveries, like beneficial discoveries by accident. And of course, that's a good thing. Like, I feel I had a lot of serendipity when I attended my first Tai Chi class at the YMCA, because Tai Chi is something that very few people spend much time thinking of. And I mean, when I was in the class, like most people, they'll show up for like one class and then they're like, okay, it's too complicated. And I guess it's so complicated, so complex that it scares them off. They don't come back. But no, I persevered, and I'm glad I found Tai Chi, because the age you start is the age you keep for the rest of your life. Okay, and so fifth thing I'd want more of in my life, definitely balance. Definitely balance is a very helpful characteristic to have in, well, a lot of things out there too, like yoga and I guess Tai Chi and martial arts in general. Because when I was in that Taekwondo class, well, my balance wasn't as good as, I guess, most people, so the instructor did not want to test me for getting a new belt. Of course, balance would help with a lot of, like, hiking and most things in life. And I guess also just the whole system of Ayurveda. I've read about, in Hinduism with the doshas and the, like, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. There's of course, having things in balance is ideal. That's what you want. And I mean, also when I was in uh environmental science, AP environmental science class in high school, like, we learned the definition of sustainability is when input is equal to outputs. And of course, having sustainability is a good thing. Like, when, like, people buy as much as they're gonna eat, like, because if you bought too much, then you would end up throwing some of it out, or yeah, so when inputs equals outputs, that's a good thing. Yes, that'd be a really good situation for our climate, like if the carbon dioxide, methane, and like water vapor was dissipating as quickly as it was put into the atmosphere. And unfortunately, that's very far from the truth right now, but well, wouldn't that be great if that was the reality? See balance and um, let's see, I definitely want more insight in my life. I think increasing insight, definitely during my dreams, I'm pretty sure, like, this woman in one of my dreams was just saying insight to me over and over again. Like, she was standing on a rock in the middle of a river and shouting insight, insight. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely good to be insightful, be able to, I guess, inspire others or change other people's opinions. So, 7, I'll put down that I want power to increase in my life, and I guess that one kind of seems more on the left-hand path side of things, or well, of course, power is a very good thing to have. Like, money, definitely, when people have a larger amount of money, they have the power to, I guess, travel or afford a private jet, or, private jets could travel someplace that you normally can't. Not that I would want a private jet, but power to create change, to get your plants to grow, because sometimes you plant seeds and unfortunately they don't always work out. So I guess that's mostly what I mean for power, for planting, agriculture. Yeah, that's just general thing. And so let's see, we're down to 8. See, the 8th thing I'd want more of, definitely creativity. So ability to just alter my world around me, because I guess when you're making sigils, that is also a form of creation, and you're just manipulating your reality by adding new things. And when people are able to paint a good picture, like, and they can transform the space and area, like, I know a lot of rich people during, like, the Middle Ages or Renaissance, like, they would hire artists to maybe paint a room, like, paint the walls to look like a garden. So if you didn't know you're outside, like, it looks like you're in a garden. So to transform the space and to feel, I guess, more comfortable. Let's see. And I definitely want more flexibility, because just being adaptable is really what it meant when, like, the phrase survival of the fittest is something you'll hear pretty often. And that actually reminds me of my cousins when they were first being introduced to veganism, and, like, when they were trying to justify why they continue to eat dairy and, take advantage of other species, other animal species, they said, well, survival of the fittest. And I guess it'd be very good for more people to recognize that when Darwin gave the phrase survival of the fittest, it's obviously survival of the most harmonious or the most adaptable would be better, like not physically fit, like being strong, but I think by fittest it's most able to fit in, adaptable. Let's see. 10, I definitely want more stability in my life, or I guess a better phrase for this would be staying power, because at times there were times when remembering my dreams was like I did it consistently for about a week or a few days together, and I was able to recall it in high detail, but you know what, sometimes these things fade over time, or if you don't keep up with your effort, it's not always that easy. And so staying power is definitely a good thing to have, and stability could be like financial stability, or just lack of mental illness, like, 'cause I know with people with bipolar or whatever, schizophrenia or whatever, like, obviously people are unstable when they have mental issues, and I guess everyone is on the spectrum of autism, or most people, and there's always a range of mental abilities, mental defects, and just have it easier to communicate, I guess, like easier communication between people with stable personalities. Okay, so thank you for watching. I guess one thing before I send this letter off to the gods, the moon goddess, I guess since it is a new moon, I wanna this sigil I learned. So a crescent moon with a pentagram on it, because I saw this in a book, and it was a pretty old book from Iceland, and it kind of said if you make a sigil like this, it would make it easier for you to become more intuitive, or to develop a sense of ken or understanding for otherworldly abilities, and to understand more complex abilities that wouldn't be very familiar to humans. And then it said that, like, to make this more effective, or to make it easier to get this into your personality, to impression this into your mind, it'd be, of course, putting it inside a wood box. Okay, so thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on. And the new moon, I hope you take advantage of these energies that we have around us. Goodbye, thank you for watching.